Hey everybody, Matt Barton here with this week's Principal Broker Minute or Two, and it's going to be short. I wanted to talk to you about just a couple of updates with two of our disclosures. One is the updated AIG disclosure, as well as the wire fraud disclosure. So let me show you my screen. I have on screen here, move my picture here a little bit, the new AIG disclosure. So first thing you'll notice is it no longer has the RE/MAX logo at the top. It has the AIG logo at the top, and that kind of makes sense. This is a disclosure of all these sister companies, of relationships between them, and the holding company is AIG. And so that's why we swapped out the logo. It used to say here, this is a disclosure given by Associates Investment Group and RE/MAX Associated to the clients. Well, now it's just going to be AIG Investment Group to the clients. This RE/MAX portion here is removed because in the next paragraph, it then enumerates all of the sister companies. Okay. The other item on this is in the third paragraph here that is highlighted in orange. This did not used to be capped. We're capping this so that we can draw more attention to the fact that nobody's requiring you to use these companies. They're provided there as a convenience. If it makes sense for you, the client is ultimately the decider of who is going to use it, and it's not used as a qualification for doing a deal at all. Kind of like the fact that that is capped so that if anybody ever has any question in the future, we can say not only did we disclose it to you, but we put it in all caps so it would draw more attention to it. So that is the update to the AIG form. The wire fraud form itself didn't change, but this is what I wanted to say in regards to both the wire fraud and in addition to the AIG form. In SkySlope, let's go there. In SkySlope, when we, before I do that, in the AIG disclosure, down at the bottom, if somebody wants more detail of the nature of those businesses or what they should know about those particular businesses, they can go to this link, which will take them here to the AIG disclosure, and we'll give them much more detail on each one of the sister companies, what is normal in the industry, what our costs typically tend to be, what we charge, et cetera, et cetera. So just know that there is more detail if you have clients that want to understand more about that disclosure. Okay, now to SkySlope. If you go to the forms and you open the library for RE/MAX Associates of Utah, you'll notice that we have currently, and this is about to change in the next few days, we have an AIG disclosure for both buyer and seller. Well, when you look at the language, they're exactly the same. So this is going to go away. There will only be one AIG disclosure. It will work for either a buyer or a seller. And that's what I wanted to say about the wire fraud as well. If I go to the, in the libraries, and I go to the UAR section and I would type in wire fraud, you'll notice that there is a wire fraud buyer and a wire fraud seller. It's the same language, and so we will update our library to just have the wire fraud alert disclosure. There won't be a designation between buyer and seller. So hopefully that makes life easier for you guys, less things to parse through, and you have a better understanding of the new format of the disclosure, the AIG disclosure, and why. And I'll just finish with this. The CFPB, which is the big federal government 800-pound gorilla administrative body, is the one that requires that we have the AIG disclosure. They don't make any exceptions for that. Anybody who's worked with a doctor, or auto repair place, everybody has some type of, almost everybody has some type of an affiliated business disclosure in today's business. And the government's really big on making sure that the consumer knows that there is the possibility, not that I've had several agents like, well, they're not going to use those other companies. The CFPB doesn't care. They want your client to know that we have these companies so that if there was any type of influence now or some future point, they have the appropriate disclosure. And to not comply with them can get really nasty really fast. The CFPB deals in very large fines, like north of $1 million. So appreciate your help on that and getting those disclosures signed and in all of the transactions that we do at RE/MAX Associates. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk with you soon.